First, they came for the African Americans. I was not one of them. I did not speak up.
In 1998, James Byrd Jr. was chained to the back of a pickup truck and brutally dragged to his death. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. I thought I was this land.
Then they came for the Asian Americans. I was not one of them. I did not speak up.
My mother came to this country from her native Korea. Forced by the community, she had to learn English. The lack of her understanding from the community angered her, and because of her language barrier, she was unable to express herself and emotions. My mother's closest friend took the pain so difficultly that one evening she poured gasoline on herself and around her and lit a match. She wrote in a letter that the pain of the fire does not exceed that of intolerance. I thought I was this land.
Then they came for the Pacific Islanders. I was not one of them. I did not speak up.
After the annexation of Hawaii, the natives were subject to many discriminations. They were excluded from land ownership and management. They were continually placed in positions of workers and even beaten for speaking Hawaiian. The native rituals, beliefs, and practice were nearly destroyed. In 1993, there were only 8,711 pure Hawaiians. Demographers predict that in the year 2044, there will not be one pure Hawaiian left. I thought I was this land.
Then they came for the members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I was not one of them. I didn't speak up.
June 27, 1844, approximately 200 men armed with guns swarmed Carthage jail, where they opened fire, injuring Martin Harris, Willard Richards, and John Taylor, but killing Hiram Smith and his brother Joseph Smith, the prophet. All of this with permission from the authorities. I thought I was this land.
Then they came for the biracial, multiracial people. I was not one of them. I did not speak up.
I don't even identify with my own family. Rejection from both sides, like a tug-of-war. I identify with both, and sometimes neither. Should I be ashamed, or should I be proud? I cannot be accepted by this world, because I have no one to be accepted by. I thought I was this land.
Then they came for the Native Americans. I was not one of them. I did not speak up.
Of all the Indian nations evicted from their homelands, none fought harder and more tragically for a land they loved than the Nez Perce. In 1877, President Grant opened the Wallowa Valley to a white settlement. The Nez Perce were ordered to move to reservation and only given 24 hours to prepare for the removal and long march. There they would be forced to live. Chief Joseph, in succession of shrewd military actions, outmaneuvered 10 pursuing units of the U.S. Army. 1,500 miles later, and only 40 miles away from the Canadian border, where freedom awaited them, outnumbered, sick, starving, and tired, Chief Joseph surrendered, but not before sending his wife and young children along with the remaining warriors to Canada. October 5th, as he surrendered, Chief Joseph said, "I am tired of fighting. Our chiefs are killed. The old men are all dead. He who led the young men is dead. It is cold, and we have no blankets. The little children are freezing to death. My people, some of them, have run away to the hills with no blankets and no food. No one knows where they are, perhaps freezing to death. I want to have time to look over my children and see how many of them I can find. Maybe I shall find them among the dead. Hear me, my chiefs. I am tired. My heart is sick and sad. From where the sun now stands, I will fight no more. Forever. Chief Joseph." I thought I was this land.
Then they came for the Latinos. I was not one of them. I did not speak up.
I am used to the words people say to me. Spick, wetback, drug dealer, lazy, ugly, stupid. But I always cry every time a car speeds by my grandma's house, yelling, "You fucking spicks, go back to where you came from." As the car fades away, I can see my grandma turning to me, saying, "It's okay, Hita. Those cabronas are loco." But as my grandma's Hita, I will never be okay hearing people put down mi familia. I thought I was this land.
Then they came for the gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people. I was not one of them. I didn't speak up.
I want acceptance. I want support. I want friends. I want love. I want a safe place. I want to be myself. I want to be LGBT, whatever that means to me. I thought I was this land.
Then they came for the Jews. I was not one of them. I didn't speak up.
January 20, 1942.
High-ranking Nazi officers met to solidify the answer to the Jewish problem, better known as the final solution. The Nazis were so efficient that 2 Jews were killed every minute of every hour of every day for 6 years. I thought I was this land.
Then they came for the refugees. I was not one of them. I didn't speak up.
The students in school look at me strange. I don't understand their language, and they don't understand mine. As I walk through the hallways, the other students either stare at me or look the other way. I want to go home, but I can't, because my home has been destroyed. I feel so alone, like no one wants to be my friend. All I want is someone to be my friend and to give me a chance. I thought I was this land.
Then they came for the Muslims. I was not one of them. I did not speak up.
How was my first thought. How can it be that people can be so ignorant and act out like this towards someone completely unassociated with the Twin Towers? Why? Why are all the Muslims the focal point of what seems to be everyone's hate? What? What makes the government allow my grandfather's house to be searched and have all his files and computers confiscated, his house under surveillance and bugged, not to mention his bank accounts frozen? All under suspicions and assumptions that maybe, somehow, he had something to do with all those lives lost. I just can't make anything out of it when people look at me and call me a terrorist. The one thing I do know is I'm human, just like you. I thought I was this land.
Finally, they came for me, but there was no one left to speak up. What would you do?